Hello. My name, for the millionth time, been taking this, is, Jesus, I'm just messing up. I'm messing up so much. I don't even know. I got 2 viewers here. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. 2 people are watching, whatever. I'm just going to share this with you. So, you go to Foundation every day, right? To turn in your gold bullion. That's the best place to go. When you're walking through there, you always hear NPCs talking, how they have that passive dialogue, stuff like that. But, when you go and you're kind of walking around and stuff and you hear Samuel saying things, there are things that he says and there are things that I'll show you that are a little suspicious, and there actually might be more of a meaning behind it than you might think. So let me load in here. Looks like we found a world. Just did a little audio checks. Looks like everything's working out with the audio. I gotta be careful with my videos though. I know the quality when I post them on YouTube is not the best, but it's what I'm working with. So I'm gonna try to move as slowly as possible, or not go left to right as much as possible, because when I move, that seems to fuck up the resolution a lot.
Just a mist makes it harder to see.
So these little comments that these guys make, this is exactly what I'm trying to show you. So we're going to walk up here to Foundation, and then I'm going to give you guys a little analysis. So the first thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to go over here because it's a little more quiet, is that lady right there who is talking. And her name is Elise, and she's married to a gentleman named Derek, and I'm going to go right now and talk to them. So you hear what they have to say. Turn off that radio really quick. Here it is. Okay.
Hi there.
Here, Elise. Let's see. Is that your boy I see around
He's
here?
mine, all right. Mine and Derek's. He's a good kid. Now that we made it here, I'm teaching him how to
Alright,
shoot.
whatever. That's not what's important.
I hope we can make... What
What
don't
do
I
you do around here? Okay, so I'm looking for a specific line of dialogue, and I'm not going to skip through it, so you'll see when I
Best way to
get
get
there.
to know someone is either to fight them or share a meal. I recommend sharing a meal. Samuel is one of our newer citizens. Maybe you can be his friend. He's from a vault like you.
So that's our first little piece of information, specifically about Samuel. So Samuel is one of the newer citizens. Now, there is a passive line of dialogue that Elise here has where she mentions the pit, and I can't exactly recall what that means, so we're not really going to use that as a big fact, but I know that it's out there, and I wish that maybe she'll say it when we're walking around. Alright, will do, Elise. Well, let's go find her husband, Derek. He usually is sitting out here. Doesn't seem like he is, though. He was that gentleman walking around in the fisherman outfit. He's bound to be somewhere. That's Eviction Notice, one of the new events that is up. I have a playthrough of that on my YouTube channel. You guys can all go watch. But, okay, so we're going to skip out on Derek for now. Maybe we can see him again, but he has a line mentioning that he's from a place called Pittsburgh, and you can tell that from his accent, There's a pretty clear accent from Pittsburgh, and it seems that the voice actor went out of their way to try to accomplish that. He mentions that he's from the Pit, but he doesn't really go into it more. He kind of stops and says, just don't go north, referring to Pittsburgh and the Pit, obviously. So, we're going to get to the main point right now. This is Samuel. Now, if he says anything, I might stop in the middle of what I'm saying so that you guys can hear. But for the most part, I'm very suspicious of this guy. Now, the only piece of evidence that we have so far in the video is that he's one of the newest citizens. So, okay, maybe he wandered in here. It seems that he has some vault apparel. Maybe he is from a vault. Let's ask Samuel and see what he has to say, though.
Hey, fellow dweller. How's it going?
It's going pretty good, man. But I need to talk to you about some things. Like, how did you end up here?
I came from a vault just like you. You've never heard of it. It's really far away and hidden.
Oh, yeah.
Really hidden. I don't even know how to get to it. Like, at all.
So, you're from a vault, but it's very hidden, and you don't know how to get to it at all. You see, it almost looks like he's shaking his head agreeing with me right now. That's a little suspicious, Samuel, but I'm going to ask a couple other things
A
here.
little bit of this, a little bit of that. Whatever needs doing. Ward says he's still trying to figure out what I'm best at.
Sorry, I was ripping my vape there. So he doesn't really have like an official position here, but we'll just keep that in mind. Now, Samuel, what can you tell me about the others here at Foundation?
Ward's in charge out here. Well, he'll say he ain't, but he is, of course. But when he points, as for the rest of them, I'm still getting to know everyone.
Still getting to know everyone. I see. Okay, well, excuse me, I had to burp there for a second. Apologies. Well, Samuel,
Let me
we'll
know
see
if
you
you
later,
see any
okay?
repairs I should add to my list.
Yeah, we will. Alright, so I'm going to stand off to the side here for a second. I'm going to talk. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to hopefully wait for an interaction between a random settler and our suspicious friend Samuel here. So, right now, what we have to work with is that he is one of the newer citizens, and he's from a vault. Yet, the vault that he comes from, he doesn't really give any specific information on it, and what's most odd about it is he doesn't know how to get there, which, I mean, unless he was abducted by aliens or something, or maybe he was smuggled out of there by raiders, I don't really know. Now, the next piece of evidence that we have that I haven't really touched on is something that you might already notice, and that is the fact that Samuel is wearing some Vault-Tec clothing. So if I turn on my flashlight here, you can see on the back here he's got a Vault-Tec backpack. You see that gold and blue. And he's got a VT logo on his shirt and his hat. You know, he's wearing some jeans, pretty clean clothes. Looks like a well-meaning guy. Now, I don't know about you guys, and maybe there's some sort of... Oh, you know what?
You been up to,
This is
Samuel?
what I'm waiting for.
I got a lot of things in motion right now. You know how it is. Some construction, some scavenging. And got my songwriting, of course. How about you?
Oh, well, I'm supposed to take all of these chems from Doc Aubrey or my gums will start, bleeding again.
Oh. Yikes, man. You do that.
So, that's not the interaction that I was hoping for, but still get little pieces of information from that. But back to what I was saying. Now, Samuel doesn't really have... I mean, like, if he came from a vault, you know, similar to every other vault that we've seen...
Saves.
Yeah, I know, that sucks. I lost mine, too. Every other vault dweller, or, you know, vault personnel that we see has a vault jumpsuit. I mean, we have our vault jumpsuit. I mean, I'll throw it on right now. I mean, obviously, I've modified this. I've been out here in West Virginia for a while, but this is my trusty 76 jumpsuit right here. Now, Samuel doesn't seem to have one of those.
The only time I
Now, of
miss
course,
being
that
inside the
might not
vault
be
is
vital.
weather bad. Or if there's a nuke.
Yeah, okay, the vault. So, I'm not going to sit around here and waste your time and wait for this interaction, nor am I going to wait around myself, waste my own time, and edit this video. I'm just going to explain to you and hope that you can take my word for this. There's an interaction between him and a settler, just like we saw, you know, a minute ago, where the guy comes up to
I
him,
believe I lost my
and, you know,
nuke
they're
attack
kind of
saves.
shooting the shit. Alright, I get it, Samuel. Yeah, it sucks. I lose a lot of saves, you know. Bethesda takes a lot of fucking money from me every month, too, but that's a different story. Alright. This guy walks up to Samuel, and they're shooting the shit, whatever, and the guy mentions to Samuel, he calls him by the name Sam, and Samuel kind of snaps at him, and he's like, hey, call me Samuel. And the guy chirps back and responds by saying, you know, you don't really know any of our names either. And Sam, you know, he kind of makes some, you know, snide excuse like, oh, well, I'm still trying. But it doesn't really seem like he has that big of an interest in the people of Foundation, and judged off of the last interaction that he had with a settler, didn't really seem like he cared about his gums bleeding either. Now, the thing and the biggest piece of evidence, to my belief and to my knowledge, is one passive remark that Samuel makes, and this remark is simple. He says, man, I really wish I had a hoagie. I mean, sandwich. Now, for those of you who don't know, although I assume most of you do, hoagie is a Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, somewhere in Pennsylvania term for like a sub sandwich, you know. And he corrects himself and says sandwich. Now, you could give the argument that hoagie might have spread down to West Virginia, and that very well may be true, but for the most part, the term hoagie is very much associated with the state of Pennsylvania and its like cities. But what really, gets me interested is the fact that he corrects himself, almost as if he didn't want anybody to know that he had said hoagie. Now, to wrap this all up, so as not to bore you or waste your time, let's figure out what we have and compile it. So, we have the Taylor family, Davy, Elise, and Derek, I believe. Yeah, that's his name. Down at that house right beyond this street. We were just down there. And we have the interactions from Samuel. So, yeah, alright. We get it, Samuel. As we know, with the Wastelanders update, all of the people came back to West Virginia specifically to find the gold. It makes sense. People are pretty greedy. Obviously, people came down from the pit as well to make a better life for themselves. So if a family, a nice, well-meaning, respectable family like the Taylors could move from the pit down here, or at least just walk here, it's not so far-fetched to say that the pit raiders have come here as well. And as you guys know, in September of this year, 2022, the pit update is going to come. And for the most part, what we're hearing is that it's going to be a glorified daily ops. And sure, that's fine. There's probably not going to be a lot of story elements to it, especially not Samuel being a spy from the Pit Raiders working at Foundation. But I believe that all of this information means something. I mean, the way that he says some things. I'm going to go stand over here to make sure that I don't miss out on it. Maybe he'll say it.
Y'all, I can't keep up.
Huh, that's interesting. Yins use y'alls is also a term used by, Pennsylvanians or Philadelphians, Pittsburghians. I'm not too sure what the name is. But it's interesting as to why he is confused about that. Now, for all of you who may be pointing out fallacies that I have, there it is.
Sandwich.
For all of you pointing out the fallacies, and maybe they're saying, oh, well, he's from West Virginia, maybe he's from Pennsylvania, maybe he's well-meaning. Again, that could very well be true. I am purely trying to speculate, as I'm a level, 330 something now, and I have nothing better to do with my time out here in wonderful, beautiful, temperate West Virginia. Thank you all so much for watching, and hope you have a good day. Take care.